Welcome to the Common Man Football Show. My name is James Coburn, and today's episode, we're going to be looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers versus Chicago Bears Week 3 matchup based on analytics. Each week, I collect all the current 2017 NFL team data in order to analyze and project potential NFL performance. And we are 2 weeks into the season, so it's not the biggest sample size ever. However, there will always be the little nuggets of truth in every sample of data you see, which is why I hope you stick around to see what those nuggets could be with this week's matchup. And if you're new to the channel, all terms and definitions will be in the description. So if you're not very familiar with the data and all the other sort of stuff I do, just go to the description and it should have all the information there in terms of the different data points and things I'm going to be talking about. And for today, we're going to be looking at the team data, the overall statistics of both these teams in the last 2 weeks in terms of comparisons. And then we're also going to be looking at a couple individual matchups between defensive end and offensive tackle sort of matchups, which I think should be fun at the end. So stick around for the end. But when you look at the basic NFL data points, so the NFL stat basic comparisons, the overall data favors the Pittsburgh Steelers in this particular game, and the main reasons why should be evident, but the Pittsburgh Steelers defense has performed very well when it comes to their defensive split performances. The last 2 weeks, they've been one of the best in the NFL when it comes to preventing first downs on defense, whether it's passing or run based for the most part. Whereas the Bears just have not been the best on defense. I will say that the Bears do have somewhat of an advantage when it comes to offense. The Bears' offense has been able to create first downs with their overall offense a lot better than the Steelers have in the last 2 weeks. But defensively, when you combine the defense and offense of the Steelers versus the defense and offense of the Bears, the Steelers still come out a little bit ahead. On top of that, when you look at the turnover percentage of the Steelers versus the Bears have been one of the I wouldn't say one of the worst, but definitely in the bottom when it comes to their turnover percentage. Sack percentage is a little bit better for the Steelers. They've been a little bit better at preventing sacks, but both these teams are not exactly the best when it comes to that particular stat. And when it comes to offensive scoring, the Steelers have been much better. So despite the fact that the Bears have been able to create a lot more first downs compared to the Steelers in terms of just general split data, the Steelers have still been able to put up more points, which is, again, why they're favored heavily in this game. On top of that, the defensive scoring, well, not really scoring, but just prevention of points on the defensive side of the ball is on the Steelers. The Bears are the worst in the NFL. In fact, when it comes to preventing defensive scores, turnovers not the best. Both these teams haven't really been the best when it comes to creating turnovers from an offensive drive percentage standpoint. Sacks has been much more on the Steelers side. In fact, the Steelers are one of the best, if not the best, in terms of sack percentage in the NFL right now in terms of the last 2 weeks. Interceptions is pretty much an even sort of thing. The Bears have better special teams play. They're much better when it comes to punt returns and kick returns when it comes to yardage. And defensively, the Bears have also been a lot better when it comes to preventing kick return yardage. But the Steelers have been a little bit better in terms of punt return yardage. So special teams is on the side of the Bears a little bit when it comes to this matchup in terms of yardage through punt returns, kick returns, those types of things. When you look at the field goal percentage, they're pretty much dead even. I mean, it's so early right now that unless your kicker really messes up, your field goal percentage is going to be fine. Same thing with extra point percentage, but punting average is better on the Bears side. So special teams wise, the Bears are a little bit better than the Steelers when it comes to overall special teams play. But again, when it comes to this matchup, the Steelers are favored more than the Bears because their offense is able to put up points. They don't turn the football over a ton, offensively speaking. They've been able to prevent less sacks, and also the Steelers' defense has been playing very well. So that combination of being able to put up points and preventing teams from putting up points, and from an offensive drive perspective, is why the Steelers are favored in this game. Now, when you get to the other sort of statistics, so Looking at completion percentage overall on the Steelers versus the Bears defense, the Steelers should have somewhat of an advantage when it comes to first down completion percentage. The second down completion percentage kind of goes towards the Bears defense, and third downs, the Steelers are a little bit better in terms of third down completion percentage overall. The majority of first down conversions happen on first down, so the basic ones to really look at is the first down and the third down when it comes to crucial sort of situations. And the Steelers just beat the Bears defense when it comes to those particular areas. So again, I don't think the Steelers offense will have as much trouble against this Bears defense as you would like. When you look at the flip side, so when you look at the Bears offense versus the Steelers defense, the Bears offense does have somewhat of an advantage when it comes to first down completion percentage. Not so much when it comes to second downs. The Steelers defense has been much better when it comes to completion percentage on second downs. Third downs kind of favors the Bears a little bit. But overall, it's kind of a similar sort of situation where the Bears completion percentage-wise are better when it comes to first and third down compared to how the Steelers have been performing when it comes to those particular metrics. And then, of course, you have the rest of the splits that you can kind of look at your leisure in terms of the data. Then we get to first down conversion rate with the run. The Steelers offense versus the Bears defense. The Steelers rushing offense has not been good in the last 2 weeks. The Bears, this is the one area where the Bears will have somewhat of an advantage. Their defense has been performing a lot better when it comes to preventing first down conversions with the rush compared to how well the Steelers have been performing overall when it comes to their rushing game. So that isn't really the thing to worry about in this game. For whatever reason, the Steelers have just not been getting it done when it comes to rushing the football and getting first downs through that sort of area. When you look at the Bears offense in terms of the Bears rushing offense versus the Steelers rushing defense, the Bears do have advantages when it comes to first down conversion rate, second down conversion rate, and third down. The Steelers are a little bit better when it comes to that particular area in terms of preventing first downs with the rush. So I do think that based on this information that the Bears probably will have some success running the football, especially when it comes to second down situations. But the big enchilada realistically is the passing offense. So this deals with first down conversion rate through the pass. When it comes to Steelers versus the Bears, the Steelers are much better when it comes to creating first downs with the pass on first down. It's kind of even when it comes to second down situations. They're actually kind of dead on even when it comes to that particular area. And the Steelers also have the advantage when it comes to third down situations. So despite the fact that the Steelers have had issues in terms of completion percentage, they've had issues in terms of their running game, they've still been able to get it done through the pass. They've still been able to get points on the board with the pass. So, I mean, that's basically what it boils down to. So I think for the most part, looking at all the splits, it just feels like the Steelers kind of fit this. You know, the Bears will be able to do certain things well, but not everything well. And then finally, when you look at the Bears offense versus the Steelers defense when it comes to passing, the Steelers defense just kind of beats the Bears in every single scenario, whether it's first down, second down, or third down. Slightly kind of even when it comes to third down, but first and second down, there's a clear advantage between the Steelers defense versus the Bears offense. So I don't think the Bears offense will perform very well in this game based on how the Steelers defense has been playing. And then we get to some individual matchups just to finish out the show. The Steelers have been one of the better teams in the NFL when it comes to creating sacks, and one big reason is because of their pass rushers, guys like Alvin Dupree and TJ Watt. And this is the sort of scenario that the Bears are going to have to deal with this week. Looking at Alvin Dupree versus Charles Leno Jr. in terms of athleticism, Dupree is much more explosive than Charles Leno Jr. He's significantly faster than Charles Leno Jr. And the only sort of area that Leno Jr. has over Dupree is in terms of flexibility. But overall, it's just not a good look for that kind of situation. And then when you look at the other side of the field, when you look at Bobby Massey versus TJ Watt, TJ Watt doesn't quite have the arm length of Bobby Massey, but TJ Watt is significantly more explosive. He's faster. He's more flexible. He's just a significantly more athletic pass rusher. And Massey's a guy who had a couple couple issues here and there with Noah Spence, and I think that this week it's going to continue. And this is a guy in T.J. Watt that's a lot more athletic than Noah Spence. So I think this is a key matchup for the Bears to have if the Bears are going to have any success, because if you're going to beat the Steelers, you need to have balance. You need to be able to beat them with the pass as well as the run. And in this particular scenario, I just don't see that happening unless they can somehow deal with both these pass rushers. Because having to deal with one of these guys is hard enough. Having to deal with just Alvin Dupree isn't as easy as some people think. But having to deal with Alvin Dupree and T.J. Watt is a big task to say. So that's going to be a key matchup that I think you should check out in the middle of the game, because I think that it's just something that could have big impacts in that game if they don't track it and be aware of it. So overall, who wins this particular matchup? I kind of side with the data when it comes to the Steelers. I just think that the Steelers offense has been able to put up points. The Steelers defense has been able to create turnovers to a certain extent, but also just creating sacks and creating havoc and preventing points from being put on the football. They haven't been perfect. No team is perfect, but I do think that in this particular matchup, the Steelers should win. It may be an ugly game. It may bring that out of them, but I do think that this is a matchup in particular that I think is a little bit too much for the Bears to handle, and as a result, the Steelers win this game. So, of course, my name is James Coburn. You can find my work at draftcoburn.wordpress.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Geometrics. And if you like this content and you want more content like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Share this video as well with anybody that you know, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.